So earlier this week, we got a brand new video of the cast of Twisted Metal sitting down and playing one of my favorite video games of all time, Twisted Metal Black on the PS4. But we actually got a few little things in that video that I think kind of justify maybe giving it a look and breaking down a few of the things that we actually saw, including this, which was the first thing we saw, Outlaw from Twisted Metal 2012. Now, this is the Twisted Metal Black SUV model, but it's more based off of the 2012 Twisted Metal model, where you can see the barbed wire up top and so on and so forth in the cage mesh across the front of the vehicle. But what I like about this is that you can see that Agent Stone is actually driving this, meaning this is going to be his main vehicle when we see him, because there is some explanation of why he was driving the original Outlaw vehicle and now why he's driving this. We will get into that here shortly, but as we go through the opening clips, we also get to see that the turret for Outlaw from 2012 is not your typical, pop out the top, shoot the gunner like it was in Twisted Metal Black, but you can see it's an automated turret in comparison, and you can see a broken down vehicle here as he gets fired upon by a power missile. Now, the reason why I say this is a power missile and not a fire missile or a homing missile is because of the red trail. This is kind of iconic with a lot of the Twisted Metal games where the power missile was always the red trailed rocket, and you can see it's not like guiding towards him, or it doesn't have a purple trail like the homing missile does. It just has a nice red trail, but misses. Just outright misses Outlaw as he takes off, kind of turning the corner. And it's kind of nice to see this as the opening shot, because now we do have confirmation that Outlaw is going to be driven by Agent Stone. It isn't the Agent Stone that drove Crimson Fury. This is the Agent Stone of like Outlaw lore, which we will be getting Agent Shepard more than likely driving Crimson Fury somewhere in this series, since he is confirmed to be in the part of the show. And there's a lot of characters that we're gonna see in this trailer that are now confirmed. Some of them good, some of them bad, but let's continue on. We do get to see this cool, and I just thought this was a cool shot, right? I just thought that this was a cool shot of how mechanically drivers would do this to their vehicles, how the drivers of like the Twisted Metal games would modify their vehicles for combat. This guy, whoever this is, whether this is just the random people chasing John Doe in the mall, which is the scene this is from, strapped 2 RPGs on the top of his car. Like, just think about that. This is 2 RPGs welded, not strapped, but welded to the top of his car. And I'm not gonna lie, if Twisted Metal was a real thing, I would probably do something just like this, where I've got 2 giant fuck it, do 4. Do 4 of the goddamn things strapped to the top. But you can see they're again firing another power missile, because it careens right over Roadkill, right over Evelyn. It careens and goes right into an EB Games, because something we find out about later on in this trailer that the director actually explains is that this apocalypse took place in 2002.
Our apocalypse happened in 2002. I wanted to do that because the 90s and 2000s was like when these games came out, and that's just so synonymous, for me at least, with the time.
So EB Games, or Electronics Boutique, would not be owned by GameStop yet, so it'd still technically be EB Games in 2002. I remember going into an EB Games up until like 2004, but the fact that you've got the nostalgia of the Electronics Boutique or EB Games, that really just hits home. But as this missile goes careening in to the EB Games, a bunch of copies, and I mean a bunch, like a bunch of copies of the original Twisted Metal come careening out of the top and land all over his vehicle, all over the windshield. And John Doe's reaction here is just priceless. Like, I just wanted to have this as my wallpaper on my desktop, because just how he's staring at, like, what the fuck is this shit? The fact that it just lands perfectly on the car and his windshield wiper wipes it away is just hysterical to me. But one thing I do want to point out, and I could be wrong, the long box that I know of had never had the plastic spines like that. That's a plastic spine, you can tell by the hinge near the top of the box. all I know of when it comes to the actual long boxes of, Twisted Metal is that they're cardboard like this one is, right? So let me know, is there a variant of the Twisted Metal long box that is plastic, or did they just recover this of a different long box game? I'm genuinely curious because I'm a game collector myself, and that is something that just actually caught my interest, is seeing that long box and just being like, wait a minute, they taped over that with something else. They taped over something else that could have been valuable. What did they tape over? But then this was something we actually saw a shot from. I don't know if we saw this wide of a shot during the initial trailer, but now we get a initial long shot of the Radio Shack that we saw during the initial teaser trailer. And we see these two kids driving RC cars. The TVs are going wacko in the background. I don't think anyone has deciphered what's on these TVs. I mean, this could be Doom or something for all I know. But one thing that people did point out is the little RC cars. Not so much this generic one, but this one right here, because that is Hammerhead from Twisted Metal Small Brawl. Yes, just like Twisted Metal 4, Twisted Metal Small Brawl is now canon in this universe because you've got Hammerhead right there. I love the Easter eggs that they're hiding in this. I love the Easter eggs that they are putting in this show because it is, the history of this franchise. Whether for good or for bad, they are putting them in there, and you can see all kinds of interesting things that either you remember or don't remember. And I'm sure there's gonna be things that people are gonna point out that I missed, and I went frame by frame. But moving on from that, this was actually one of my favorite comments that John Doe says in the trailer.
You almost got us killed for a bunch of stupid CDs.
Stupid CDs? Good music is worth its weight in gold nowadays.
Bingo. Good music is worth its weight in gold nowadays. If that isn't just the absolute truth, even in 2023, I don't know what is. But next after that, they were talking about the fact that you see John Doe going through, doing his driving scenes. And one of the things that I noticed was this CD section. Now, I went on Google and I tried to find the CD. Maybe I just couldn't find it. Maybe it's just a generic CD, but it says Skull on it. It's got a design. You can see some of the tracks listed on the side, but it's not very clear. Does anyone know what this CD is? I'm just genuinely curious. What is this CD? Because it looks interesting. I don't know if it's from a real band. I don't know if it's a fake band for the show or whatnot. I don't know what that's from. So if any of you guys know what that CD is, let me know and send me a picture on Twitter, or let me know down in the comment section down below so I can look it up, because I'm wondering, it could also be, and maybe I'm just looking into it too much, is this a reference to Mr. Grimm, since like it's a skull, right? Is it like supposed to be reference to the 2012 Mr. Grimm or whatnot, or just a reference to Mr. Grimm in general due to the fact that it's a skeleton and whatnot? Let me know, because I could be looking too deep into it. I may not be looking into it enough. I might not have even done enough research to figure out what band this is. So let me know in the comments. But moving on from there, this, oh boy, this is the screenshot that I am now dubbing the Twisted Metal Rejects bar. And the reason why I say this is because there's a number of characters here. Some of them we can recognize, some of them we can't recognize yet. I'm sure we will once the actual show comes out and we watch the episodes. But just like people pointed out before, there's our boy Pizza Boy. I don't know if he's attacking John Doe or if he's helping John, but you've got him with John right here. Well, this big dude is trying to attack him. And right over here, I'm really surprised they brought this character back, because this was the creepiest character. But that is Drag Queen from Twisted Metal 4. Drag Queen is officially in Twisted Metal, the series. Now, there was another comment going around thinking that this gentleman here was Mr. Slam, because there are two actors that actually look very similar. One's playing Mr. Slam and one's playing another character. And I had to really look at this actor and you know, kind of separate the two, but this is not Mr. Slam. This is an entirely different character. Mr. Slam is in this trailer and he's right there. That's Mr. Slam right there behind the bar. You can see the construction jacket. I honestly don't like this look for Mr. Slam because that doesn't look like Simon Whittlebone whatsoever. That looks, honestly, I think you would be better off having that be a worn down Augur from Twisted Metal 3. That could be a worn down, worn out Augur than Mr. Slam, but that's the actor playing Mr. Slam right behind the counter as Quiet is taking darts and stabbing this big motherfucker. He's standing behind the bar just being like, oh, you go get him, girly, you go get him. And then we get to actually one of the best interactions I've ever had on Twitter, as we've got Anthony Mackie's character of John Doe driving Evelyn, aka Roadkill, driving through the mall. We're back in the mall, grabbing himself some kicks, and not just any kicks, but Elizabeth, the director and basically the costume designer for the Twisted Metal TV show, replied to me on Twitter saying these are the Air Jordan 1 Retro High COJP Midnight Navy, first launched in 2001. So these are actually time accurate and only 3,000 pairs were made. So John Doe would be definitely coveted, them. A version was reissued in 2020 that made it easier for stunts. Thanks to Tamia Jackson, in our department for the amazing research. That is amazing research. I'm guessing this version right here might be that 2001 version, but every scene that he wears the shoes is probably going to be the 2020 version. And I did get confirmation from my good friend Tony D2 Wild, friend of the channel, that she's 100% correct. I gotta give credit where credit is due. The amount of research into, hey, we're not just gonna throw any pair of Nikes on here. We're gonna make sure that these are time accurate and that, you know, they would work for, you know, the apocalypse happening in 2002 and then John Doe grabbing these in whatever time frame this is. That's amazing to me. I love the accuracy. Good job on the costume department over at Twisted Metal. And speaking of accuracy, we actually have a scene that a lot of people, whenever it first got shown, was saying, oh, this looks stupid. He's running with his shirt off. He's running from lightning. Why is there lightning? Why isn't there lightning? This is the environmental attack in Twisted Metal. The lightning from Twisted Metal 2 and Black and so on. This is the environmental attack. This is him running from, who knows, maybe it's just a storm, right? Maybe it's just some sort of crazy storm that rolls over the area and shoots lightning, but it's reference to the environmental attacks that could happen at any time, whether day, night, rain, or sun. Environmental attacks with lightning for some reason could happen at any time. Maybe because it is confirmed that the Holy Preacher group is going to be in this show. Maybe it's the wrath of God. Who knows? Maybe it's the wrath of God trying to smite John Doe as he's running shirtless through this parking lot. And I believe that's, I don't think that's Evelyn there. I'm not sure. It could be. But you see him running across this parking lot shirtless. And then you see this body wrapped in tinfoil that gets hit by the lightning and set on fire. What is this about? I don't know. Does anyone else know? Because I sure as hell don't. I'm guessing we'll find out when the show comes out. I think that's kind of neat that they took this element of the environmental lightning that everyone has ran victim to and turned it into an actual part of the show. And then these next two shots, I don't know how to break these down exactly, mainly due to the fact that I don't know where this could be taking place or what this could be from, but it's John walking through a destroyed city, a destroyed camp. And I don't know if this is the camp that we see early on with all the people around as he's driving through and it's been toasted, whether that was by Agent Stone or some other faction. I don't know if that's what it is, but he looks upset. He looks like he's been through hell. He's burnt. He's wandering through this city, and you can see that this kind of looks like that area that he wandered through whenever he was driving through the beginning of the show, or through the early trailers. So I'm genuinely wondering, does he come back and maybe Evelyn's destroyed? Because he's walking around with a steering wheel. Did he have to go get a new part? Is this just him salvaging for new parts, or is Evelyn destroyed? Is the city that he used to go to regularly destroyed, and now he's coming back to find it completely destroyed, all the people he knew killed, and so on? I don't know. This seems to be the darkest part that we've seen of the show so far, and him either dealing with loss or something. I'm genuinely curious when this could take place. Is this when he wakes up and maybe finds out he lost his memory and doesn't know what it happened, or is this during the show? Who knows? I genuinely am curious, but I guess we will find out whenever the show comes out in less than a week. And then this was something I didn't realize until I did a little more research, but this is a picture of the gentleman that you see Sweet Tooth save from the DMV. Yes, that was a DMV. It wasn't like an insane asylum or anything. It's the DMV. People point that out to me. But this is Stu. You don't know who Stu is? He is one part of the drivers of Hammerhead from Twisted Metal 2, Mike and Stu, which this is Stu. Big, jacked up, bearded, doesn't quite look like the same Stu that we know from Twisted Metal 2, talking to Niels, basically being one of his followers. But then you see this shot here of Stu and Sweet Tooth pulling this guy out of his vehicle, Sweet Tooth. So Needles and Stu pulling this gentleman out of Sweet Tooth, and that's Mike. That's Mike from Mike and Stu of Hammerhead in Twisted Metal 2. The two idiots who win the contest, wish to fly, and then jump off the building and die. So maybe it'll be a fitting reunion. Maybe they already know each other. Maybe they don't. I mean, the look on Stu's face here makes me think he recognizes, Mike here, but maybe this is their introduction to one another. Maybe this is, he does kind of seem like an idiot. So who knows? Maybe, he'll finally see the light, separate himself from Sweet Tooth, and join Mike to become, the drivers of Hammerhead. Where is Hammerhead? What is it going to look like? Is it going to look like Twisted Metal 1's, Hammerhead with the green monster truck? Is it going to look like Twisted Metal 2's? Is it going to look like Twisted Metal 3's, which we know Granny Dread from Twisted Metal 3 is in this show somewhere, and I'm sure we'll see her at some point. Maybe Mike and Stu kill Granny Dread and steal her vehicle, and that's how they drive Hammerhead. They throw that stupid old bitch out of the vehicle and basically drive Hammerhead. Maybe that's the case, right? It's kind of cool to see them here. It's cool to see the Twisted Metal 2, a lot of Twisted Metal 2 characters. And then this is the shot that we actually get to see, and we can play the clip here, but this is the scene that John Doe references and Sweet Tooth references in the Thong Song clip. No, I'm still not gonna like that clip, but this is the part where Sweet Tooth meets John Doe and Quiet.
Here for the show? I'm definitely here for the show.
And the show begins as he starts shooting at Sweet Tooth. I'm genuinely curious to see the interaction between John Doe and Sweet Tooth and how that plays out. I think that's going to be interesting, but the relationship I'm more interested in, and this is where the trailer really gets good, is the relationship between Agent Stone, which we can now see in this shot. That is Stone. You can see his name there. But the relationship between Agent Stone and Quiet, because this shot says so much here. This is a flashback. This is clearly a flashback to what looks to be like what we saw in the trailer, Agent Stone and his bike jockeys chasing whoever was driving Shadow, the purple hearse. There it is. There's confirmation, and we now know who was driving it. It was Quiet, and what I'm guessing, this character, from what I could see, like this is the only thing I can think of, is Loud. So Quiet and Loud. I don't know if Loud is her brother. I don't know if Loud was her lover. I don't know who Loud was or who this character actually could be. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe my speculation is completely off, but it looks like they were trying to escape, and you can see like they had some gasoline, they had, you know, sleeping bags and stuff in the car, but it looks like Agent Stone chased them down, took out the Hearst Shadow, and now they're being held at gunpoint as they're either being, you know, about to be executed by Agent Stone and his men. And you can see a very young Quiet with a very angry, menacing face looking at Agent Stone. But one thing that you may also notice is that this person, whether this is Loud, whether this is someone else, is wearing this jacket. This jacket is the same jacket that we see Quiet wearing throughout the majority of this series. She's wearing this jacket that this person was wearing. So I'm guessing this has to be Loud, because Quiet, Loud, it works out. But I'm also guessing that she has a vendetta against Agent Stone, and that's where she wants John to take her, is to find Agent Stone and get her revenge for Loud, who is probably dead. Because then we get this awesome scene where John Doe and Quiet are captured by Agent Stone, and she is staring daggers through him. She spits in his face. John's like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And she has an attitude with him. So my more interesting storyline here is the grudge between Quiet and Agent Stone. What's her reason for hating him? Did he have Loud killed? This is my speculation on what's going to happen. They're going to get captured by Outlaw, by Stone's men, and brought into the DMV. What's going to happen is that we're going to have this discussion between Stone, John Doe, and Quiet. He's gonna see her spit in his face, say, why did you do that? And then we're gonna get the flashback. We're gonna get the flashback of her and Loud, or whoever it is, trying to escape, and him capturing them, killing whoever was wearing the jacket, whoever Loud is, killing them. And this is where she wants her revenge against Agent Stone. That's my speculation. That's my theory. Let me know if you agree down in the comment section down below. We then get to our final few shots as we see Stu pushing what it actually, wow. There's a lot more detail to this than we think, because I didn't realize this. His guns and everything have been stripped from Evelyn, and they're obviously still at the DMV, and Stu is helping them escape. I don't think he's trying to stop them. I think he's trying to help them escape, because you see Quiet jump in the car, close the door, and he's pushing, and then the trunk pops open and it's poor Stu. I mean, these characters of Hammerhead are stupid, but he just gets knocked the fuck out and laid the fuck out in this trailer. And maybe what happens, and this is my guess, the trunk pops up, hits Stu in the face. They're like, we gotta help him. Oh, we don't have time. They're coming. And this might be where Sweet Tooth meets Stu and makes him join his circus, right? This might be the point where Sweet Tooth finds Stu and makes him join the circus, and then later on Stu finds Mike, and so on and so forth. I'm piecing this together. This is just speculation, but I'm kind of feeling this, right? I'm feeling this momentum in the story. That's just my opinion. And then we do get these emotional shots. I don't know if this is during the DMV interrogation or whatnot, but I have a feeling this is a part of the flashback and her seeing the execution of Loud. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what she's seeing, is the execution of Loud, them dying, and her more, because you can see she's about to break down crying. Could this be current day? Are they interrogating John Doe? Who knows? Could this be with my speculation that I think John Doe's gonna die at the end of the series? But at the end of the day, I'm genuinely actually more and more interested in this character of Quiet. She genuinely has my curiosity, because with John Doe being such a you know, funny comedy haha character in this series compared to his Twisted Metal Black counterpart, Quiet seems to be filling that Black counterpart. Quiet seems to be filling that Black storyline, where hers is a lot more of a darker storyline, and it has to do with revenge, and it has to do with loss, and so on and so forth. Her storyline, I have a feeling, is going to remind us a lot of the flashbacks and, you know, stories of Twisted Metal Black in a way. And then we get a final few shots as they were singing. And one of the things I noticed, and here's a couple of things I want to point out in this little shot here as the cast is sitting, you know, amongst themselves. First of all, I want this cup. I want this cup. I know it's just a generic cup with a goddamn Twisted Metal sticker slapped on the side of it, but I want that cup. I will pay for that cup. I want that cup, even though it is the most generic cup with the most generic Twisted Metal sticker on it. I want that goddamn cup. But another thing I noticed as I was just watching them sit on this couch and discuss the show and everything is, you know, you've got the parts and services light, you've got, you know, like an old DVD player, you got like tons of DVDs and all kinds of stuff, you know, parts of this set and everything. But is that supposed to be Twister's helmet at the bottom? Am I wrong to think that that might be Twister's helmet sitting right there at the bottom? Like, could I be wrong? Yeah, I could definitely be wrong. That could not be Twister's helmet. But thinking back to the trailer and everything, what we saw of Twister, that could be a reference to her. That could not be. It could just be a generic helmet. But why put a generic helmet in there when you could put the actual Twister helmet as a reference to her? I think that would be really cool, but it was nice to see. And then the final few scenes we actually saw of this trailer were, you know, things we've already saw, but one of the things we did see was another flashback moment where Shadow got hit by a missile or a landmine or something and sent off careening. Again, I don't know if this is a flashback or a flash forward, because the vehicle already looks like it's been through hell. More hell than what the shot that I showed you earlier looks like. Is someone else driving Shadow at this point? Did someone rebuild Shadow? Is this Nev Campbell driving Shadow? Who knows? Like, did they actually turn it? Because it looks like the roof is torn up here, and maybe that could be because of the explosion. Maybe there already been damage to the vehicle. Who knows? But theory, what if this is Nev Campbell driving Shadow, aka Raven driving Shadow, and that tear in the top is her turret, where she pops out the top in Twisted Metal Black. If you do the alternate special in Twisted Metal Black, you go up, up, up on the D-pad, she pops out the top and fires, you know, her turret. Could that be it? Or do you think this is just another flashback scene? I think it could be just another flashback scene, but again, my brain overthinks this stuff. I think about every little thing that could happen in the show. I think about every little secret that they could do or cameo. And I gotta say, thank you very much to the Twisted Metal community. Thank you guys so much for basically helping me piece this video together. I wouldn't have seen quite a lot of these things if it wasn't for the fantastic Twisted Metal community, whether that was on Twitter, whether that was on Reddit, whether that was in my own comment section, piecing this stuff together. I would not have pieced this all together if it wasn't for you guys. Am I excited for Twisted Metal, the TV show? Yeah, I'm excited for it. If it's bad, it's bad, and I'm gonna call it out. But if it's good, I'm also going to call it out, because I think that this has the opportunity to go one of both ways. This can either be the best TV show possible with a little bit of cringe, or this could just be another, we're gonna shit on, you know, your childhood all over again. This could be bad, if not worse than the Halo TV series. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and find out, because me personally, I want this to be good, and I hope you guys feel the same. I'm hoping to get some discussions started here on the channel when the first episode comes out this week on the 27th. And until then, guys, I will see you all for the debut of Twisted Metal, the TV series. We might be doing a watch together party in the Discord, so keep an eye on that. Go and join the Discord down in the description box below. But as always, guys, GamerJlee signing out. See you guys on the 27th for Twisted Metal, the TV series.